All right. Okay. Hey, everybody. We're back with our next installment of our 12 Days of Christmas special series. My name is Sean Ray, and with me on the mic is Rick. How's it going, sir?
I want to be a dentist.
We've got John.
Yeah. We can be a dentist. It's fine.
Virginia's here as well.
I want to be an orthodontist.
And Chris.
Well, Rick and Virginia, there's always tomorrow for dreams to come true.
All right, I'm starting the 20-minute timer now. So
You think it's going to take us 20 minutes to talk about this?
well, I mean, yeah. We'll talk. Well, I got a couple other things we can talk about, but the main, which I mean, there's not a hard and fast rule that we have to go 20 minutes, but the main reason for this episode, or the main point of this episode, is that we're going to talk about some pretty big changes that are coming to the Cosmic Potato Network, starting. I mean, officially, I would say January 1st, but I mean, it'll kind of be rolling out throughout the remainder of December. So the last couple of years, Rick, you've been running a network called the Infinite Diversity Network.
You could call it running.
Tell what shows do you have on that network?
Starbase 66 or Starbase The Next Generation, depending on when in my whims you came along. Open the Iris, which is our Stargate SG-1 watch-along show, which has been going strong from the long ago and before the dark times. It was the Seventh Chevron, but now it's Open the Iris. We have Infinite Diversity, which actually that show never really caught on, so it's going away. It's for all intents and purposes gone. But if you want to listen to them, they're still there. Analyzing Doctor Who, which is hosted by Shane Thomas, which when Doctor Who is actually in production, they do episode recaps and reviews. And when the show isn't in production, they just talk about various Doctor Who topics. And then I've got a couple of other shows I've been trying to get happening that, along with all the COVID weirdness, have just kind of stalled. I've got a show called Technobabble, which I need to change the name of, which is about the tech of Star Trek. We put out our first episode and then found out there was already a show called Technobabble out there. and then COVID dropped on the world and we haven't gotten back to it. And also Kennedy Gordon and I, you remember Kennedy from the old Starbase days, we are doing a series called The Nexus of the Crisis, where we are reviewing Blue Oyster Cult albums in order of release. And we've got 4 of them recorded, and then we haven't been able to get back together to record since. And so I haven't released any yet because I want to make sure we're still doing it before I start putting it out.
I'll make it a limited series.
and then I have, the Admiral's Table, which has always been an offshoot of the Starbase, when I just felt like doing something that wasn't really the Starbase. Like when I get an idea to just talk to someone for the hell of it, or something like that. So those are the shows that are on my network. And I don't think I'm such a bad podcaster. I'm probably not. I'm all right as a podcaster. I suck as a network admin. And shall I just say what
Well,
what we're doing, or did you?
Yeah.
You
contacted me and you said that you wanted to put more focus into actually making shows than running a network. So we're going to merge the two networks together.
Well, I've been thinking about it for a while because you do both really well. You know, Cosmic Potato, you've got your all your oars in the water and you do your shows, and I'm on most of your shows and you're frequently on mine. And so I was like, I've been kind of talking myself into and out of this for almost a year. Cause it just seemed like, why not? It made sense to me. But I'm also one of those people that, like, if I ask someone for a favor, they'll be like, 2 sentences are asking for the favor, and then there's a paragraph saying, but it's okay if you don't want to do it. I don't mind. I won't hate you. This isn't, kind of that. And if you recall, the email I sent you was very much like that. It's like, well, hey, I mean, we put our networks together, but if you don't want to, that's okay. And
well, because I mean, I had thought about offering that to you for a long time, but I know that you've had bad experience about leaving a network in the past. And I know you were kind of nervous about if you were to join a network, would I have to go through hell if I decided to leave the network, and still keep my stuff or whatever. And I've tried telling everybody, even Virginia and John both have shows on the network. I'm like, if you decide you don't want to be in the network anymore, I'm not going to try and keep your show. It's your show. But I understood that. So I just kind of, Rick wants to do his network. That's fine. It's not like it's going to affect the recording together and things like that. So, but now, I was honored that you asked, because like I told you, your show Starbase 66 is one of the very first podcasts that I ever downloaded. So I listened to you as a podcaster for about 3 or 4 years before we ever got on mic together.
I still remember you and Sherry came on to talk about the autoimmune stuff.
Yeah. And so the fact that you want to now put your shows on my network, I like that. But we're going to not just bring your shows on. I've been thinking about making some changes to the network for a while anyway. And one of the things that I've kind of had a burr in my boot about for a while is the fact that the network and my show have the same name, which I know nobody's ever said or ever thought. I guess it's one of these people that have anxiety, have these issues where I know nobody actually thinks that Sean puts more effort into his show on the network because it has the same, he named his network after his show. But, I know nobody thinks that, but I think people think that, so I'm like,
I assumed that you made the show and then the network grew out of the show. So it was like,
But I've always wanted to do something to separate the two, so I'm changing since Rick is bringing the Infinite Diversity Network and we're merging it with Cosmic Potato, the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. I'm changing the name of the network to the Infinite Potato Alliance. And
the IPA.
Yeah, IPA. I've actually already, let me change it. I already have the URL. It's infinitepotato.com.
Cool.
And then I'm changing the name of this podcast. It's been Cosmic Potato, the Super Fan Talk podcast, for a long time. I want to create, I wanted to make it obvious that this podcast and that Star Trek podcast are sister podcasts. So I'm changing the name of this show to that Super Fan Talk podcast. So I have that Super Fan Talk podcast and that Star Trek podcast. And then, of course, we're still going to have Captain Game Show, Wait You've Never Seen, World War G, and Trial by Pilot will all be on the network as well. And, others, if anybody wants to create a show, let me know. We'll work something out.
If there is anyone out there who's interested in joining the network as a content producer, let me say, you just do your thing and then you give it a shot. I don't even really give it a shot. I just
Yeah.
post. I just post it and then he picks it up. Like there is no like. You're not going to be signing any contracts. Like you just do.
Yeah, no.
You just do
There's
the thing you want to
nothing
do.
like that.
It is
Nothing
it
like
is
that.
A very comfortable, easygoing relationship. I feel like complete freedom as, dare I say, an artist to just do the show the way I want to do it, and I've never felt anything less than like support for whatever I needed in terms of
I totally
yeah.
agree.
public admin.
I never have any intention of asking anybody to do anything that they don't want to do with their own content. I do have to mean I didn't put the Prime Direction in that list. The Prime Direction is still there too, although there are some changes coming to that as well. But Scott's not here, so I won't talk about that. Now, I mean, if somebody was doing a podcast and all of a sudden I was listening to their podcast and all of a sudden a bunch of sexist or racial slurs started coming out of their mouth, I might have to have a conversation with them. But
another reason I'm on the network.
know,
Good for you, Sean.
yeah.
Well, I want to say something because something you said a few minutes ago just finally percolated through my my quarantine petrified brain. I was never in any way concerned about joining your network from a I've been burned once before standpoint. I know that you have absolutely nothing. Well, first of all, you were right there with me.
Yeah.
You had a show on that network too.
Yeah.
No, that was never. I mean, being a part of a different network, yes, there was a little bit of a trepidation because of past events, but not in any way was I afraid that you were going to be in any way like what happened. Otherwise, if I thought that was even a remote possibility, I never would have asked, because you're right. That was trauma. that was yeah. I haven't said much about it on the air since it happened, and that's on purpose, and I'm still not going to go into it. But if I thought that there was any chance of that happening again, this would not be happening. So I just want you to know I trust you implicitly, and that is a big reason why I finally said, I think this feels right. This feels like the right time to do it. And my big nervousness was that you wouldn't want to do it. So I'm thrilled that we are joining, putting these two together, because, it like I said, it's been like we've been dating for 3 years now. We might as well get married.
Now that you took it
with
there,
that metaphor, what you will.
Yeah. All right. So that announcement is done. I want to go back to the topic that we were talking about on a previous episode of this this series, where we were talking about some of our Christmas traditions, because I looked up on Reddit, and these are not traditions
That's
from
never a good start.
These are not traditions from other parts of the world. This is just somebody had asked a question: what are some traditions that your family has that somebody else might not have experienced? So, and I wrote some of them down, and I wanted to read a few of them off. So this person said, every Christmas our family turns the AC down to 18 degrees, which is, they're in Australia, so 18 Celsius is whatever. What is that Fahrenheit? I don't know.
Cold as hell.
Yeah.
But it's also summer in Australia in December, so
yeah. And then they proceed to watch Lord of the Rings, the extended version, which is what, like 15 hours worth of movies or something like that. And then this person said, I'm 24 and my parents still tell me Santa is real.
Degrees.
Oh, that's not cold.
It's not cold at all.
64
Maybe in
degrees.
Australia. I guess
it
it's
is
cold.
in the summer in Australia.
Yeah. Well, shoot. My air conditioner is on 69 right now.
Hey-o.
Nice.
Very
69,
nice.
dude. All right. So they said, I'm 24 and my parents still tell me that Santa is real, and I always get a gift from him. And we also drink Bloody Marys, lots of them. This person said, well, I would say it's weird in the States. We come from Argentina. On Christmas, we wait until 12 midnight to open our gifts. We don't wait until the morning of the 25th. Another person said they eat nachos on Christmas Eve. So there you go. We eat nachos. This one's a little longer. They said, so my mom and dad got married in December. Dad paid for the honeymoon, and he thought that counted as a Christmas gift. Of course, my mom got upset that there were no Christmas gifts for her. So Dad made it up to her by inventing the New Year's ostrich, and that brings a gift. That the ostrich brings a gift on New Year's Day. I had no idea.
Your go-to for conflict resolution. Like, you could have just talked about it.
I'm not sure what part of the world this is, but I had no idea that this was not totally a normal thing and that every family does it until sometime in middle school when I mentioned the New Year's ostrich, and apparently that's not a thing.
Wow.
That poor child.
Another year, my mom had a little too much wine while making cookies, and she decided to cut an entire batch of cookies using a pig-shaped cookie cutter. She called them Yule hogs. She thought that was hilarious. So now every year we make Yule hogs.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh man.
On Christmas Eve, my family does a tape ball. It's so silly, but it's also fun. It's literally layers of newspaper and tape and little prizes inside each layer and one big prize in the center. To play, you need a pair of very thick wool socks, a funny hat. They usually use a Santa hat, a pair of dice, and a pie tin or a cake pan to hold the dice. You pass around the pan and everyone rolls the dice. If you get doubles, you put the socks on your hands and the hat on your head, and then you try to rip into the ball. Whatever falls out of the ball, you get to keep until someone else rolls doubles.
You know, we had ways to humiliate each other that weren't that complicated.
Yeah. What kind of let's see how much time we got. About 3.5 minutes. What were you saying, John?
I like the tape ball thing, but it does sound, it's like it's just too much work to remember the rules. Like if it's just like, you know, I don't know, like you get to tear off a layer and then you get to tear off a layer, but like, you know, an extra game with extra rules.
Do you guys ever play like I mean, I know you have the Christmas that you have with your own family at home, but when you go to like your extended family, like your cousins and everybody, do you guys have like a Christmas game that you play for opening presents?
I'm no. The short answer is no. But some of the places that I've worked have had the white elephant gift thing where you know, everybody brings some, you know, like $10-15 gift, and like you don't know what it is, and you get to pick it, and once you open it and you get 3 steals, like an item can be stolen twice, and then after the third person steals it, like no one else can take it after that. So
yeah, that's what we usually did, because when you've got like 50 or 60 people in your family, you can't buy a present for everybody, and then people get their feel, oh, you got a present for them, you get one for me.
Oh, that's right, you're in Alabama.
So yeah. Yeah, they got when your grandmother had 11 children, and or your great grandmother had 11 children, and then your grandparents had 4. Then there's lots of cousins and nieces and nephews and all that kind of stuff coming around. So we usually buy a little gift for all of the little kids, like everybody under 10, and then everybody else plays. We called it White Santa. Or something, I think something like that, but it was the same thing, you know.
White Santa, huh?
I didn't name the game, okay?
Hashtag Santa so white.
Yeah.
Did any of y'all grow up watching Welcome Back, Kotter?
I did.
Yeah, I watched.
I've seen it. I've seen several episodes of it.
It was amazing.
What was his name?
Rorschach, Barbarino,
Rorschach?
No,
Epstein,
no,
Gabe
Mr.
Kaplan,
Carter?
no, the African American sweat hog.
Washington.
Boom Boom, Freddie
Boom Boom
Washington.
Washington. Freddie Boom Boom Washington.
Yeah. He sang a song that it's been stuck in my head ever since.
Mr. Cartier.
and he was just saying, "I don't care what the white man says. Santa Claus was a black man, or is a black man." And every year, at some point, that just starts playing in my head, and I don't remember the context. I don't remember what the plot of the episode was. I just remember him singing that. And you just fired it off by talking about White Santa.
Do not put this on me, Rick.
No, I just funny.
I'm
All
hardly
right.
responsible.
And we got about 30 seconds left. So I will end this by reminding everybody to come back the weekend before Christmas. Well, I mean, come back every day until Christmas because we're going to have a new episode come out for our 12 days of Christmas. But the weekend before Christmas will be our big Christmas party where we're going to watch the Star Wars Holiday Special live. And we're talking about the old one from the 70s, not the new one from Lego that
That's
comes
what
out.
So this is the definition of party that you've never encountered before, folks.
Yeah. It's going to be a party. There may be drinks involved. I don't know. You can. It's BYOB.
Chris, did
There
you
we go.
watch the thing when it aired?
Did I watch what thing when it aired?
The Star Wars Christmas special?
Maybe. I think I did, but I didn't remember it, and it wasn't a big deal in my mind like it is to everybody today.
I did.
You blocked it
I
out of your
remember it.
memory.
Probably,
And-
but Rick, what year did it come out?
70,
It was the
77?
year-
Yeah.
I was 7 and barely cognizant of Star Wars. So
Yeah, I was 13, and even then, I was like, "This hurts." But
Yeah.
I watched every damn.
And if you
second
didn't
of
watch
it.
if you didn't watch it that night, you didn't watch it for at least 20
Right,
years because
so then I do remember
Lucas
seeing
locked it away.
because I haven't watched it since, like everybody does these watch parties. I haven't seen it then since it aired because I know I've seen it, but I don't have any conscious recollection of choosing to see it. So
let me
I've
mark
never seen
down.
must have been
Hold on.
77.
I've never
I
seen
haven't
it.
seen it. Me either.
I'm writing down right now. Make sure Chris comes to the Christmas party.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I have too many Life Day presents to buy and wrap that day.
I will invite Joe. I know for a fact right now that whatever he's doing that day, he will cancel it to be there. All right,
He
so
probably has it on Laserdisc.
oh
I feel
yeah,
like
he's
he's probably got it
he's done it because I did this with him at a convention. We did it live on stage, and he's done it 2 or 3 times at Dragon Con himself. So he actually did a fundraiser one year where he showed the holiday special, locked all the doors to the room, and you had to pay money for charity to get out. If you wanted to leave before the movie was over, you had to pay for it. So
Well,
all right,
before you guys go, I just want to say congratulations on the Infinite Potato Alliance and thank you for letting me be fake Scott for this.
you
show.
just you laughed at it and got up and left.
And I realized that kind of was a dick move. So
All right, make sure you join us next time when you might hear John say,
If someone ever made a childproof cap for humans, it would be a condom.